welcome to my twin flame journey. I am Shine, and this is going to be the monthly reading for twin flames for September. Can you believe it's already September? It's crazy. And on this side, we have the masculine, the middle is the union, and this side is the feminine. The questions are the thoughts, the feelings, the hopes and fears. And then we also have some advice from the universe for the masculine. Same questions as for the feminine. And in the center for the union, we have how should the universe recommend that they view or think about the union or relationship, how they should feel about it, and what could be the outcome. So let's get started. I've already did this ahead of time because I just feel like it saves time. And if you're wondering too why there's some on here, it's because these came out in reverse. So I wanted to figure out why they came out in reverse. So that's why I have extra ones here. And I'll clarify anything else that I need to clarify as well. I'm pointing like you can see, but the thing cuts it off. I have my other cards there. But anyway, let's start. For the masculine, what is the masculine thinking right now in regards to the feminine and the union? The sun. Plans that work out perfectly, amazing ideas that lead to rewards and accommodations, gratitude for the blessings of life. And what else is he thinking? Awakening. Change the way you're looking at the situation. Embrace your uniqueness. A temporary pause in the action. So it seems that he is realizing something about the feminine. He's seeing things from a different perspective, or he needs to see things from a different perspective in regards to her in this situation. The sun stands for illumination, joy, happiness, abundance, like all the wonderful things that you can have. So he's either viewing her that way, as he's realizing what he had in her, or what she means to him, or he's needing to. But I think that he's already realizing that. And as far as his feelings, the High Priestess. Trusting your intuition, careful reflection before taking action, insights that come through meditation. And how else is he feeling? The Seven of Spring. Be assertive. Don't back down from what you believe. Courageously stand up for yourself. So this is like the Seven of Wands. So as far as his feelings go, he might have some conflicting feelings. He might be have conflict within himself, not using his intuition, or he's wanting to really think about how he's going to proceed with this situation. He's trying to stand up for the relationship, I would assume from this, especially if he's seeing her as the sun and he's having a different viewpoint, and he's maybe trusting his intuition or using his intuition, and he's willing to fight for her, stand his ground, stand up for the relationship. We shall see what the other cards say. What are his hopes? The Stranger. Now, this usually is somebody who's become a different person. Perhaps they've learned, they've grown, or they can just they're hoping that they can be viewed in a different light. What else is his hopes? Peace. And stop, look, and listen. This is like pay attention to the red flags, or just to pay attention. So he's hoping I guess he's hoping to be viewed as someone who's changed. He's hoping for peace. No, I'm going to clarify the stop, look, and listen. But maybe he's hoping for some attention. What is his fears? He fears there is no hope. He's fearing that there is no hope, that there's no love. So maybe he's fearing that, he won't be viewed as someone who's changed. Maybe there won't be any peace. This is what he's hoping for. He's hoping for the best, but he fears, the worst. He fears that there's not going to be any reciprocity, that, they're not going to have any chance of any kind of reconciliation. Now let's see. Stop, look, and listen. Stop, look, and listen. Can you hear the kid outside? He's going, yeah. You gotta love kids. Stop, look, and listen. I usually like the spirit to flip out the card, so I know that that's the exact message that they want to let out. Yes. Sometimes they pop out right away, sometimes they don't. So the stop, look, and listen is he's looking for an opportunity or a chance or something. He's looking to get attention from the feminine. He's looking to have a reunion. He's looking to come together in union. This is for strong bond, marriage, union. And he's hoping that there'll be healing in regards to the situation. And he's trying to look towards the future. He's trying to look for a future with himself and then the divine feminine. And he's hoping that there'll be joy and happiness and celebrating. But he's fearing maybe he's not going to be welcome. There must have been some shady business going on. Let's see what's going on with the feminine. How does she think about him? Six of Autumn. The good you do comes back to you, an unexpected inflow of money, borrowing wisely, or repaying a debt. This is like the Six of Pentacles. Giving and taking, giving and receiving. And also she's thinking unity. Do the right thing for the right reason. Compare traditional versus new approaches to see which works for you. A spiritually minded community. So she's thinking she wants to come into union, get together. She wants some give and take. She wants there to be balance in the relationship, reciprocity. Maybe she's trying to figure out even how to come into union, because it says compare traditional versus new approaches to see which works for you. Depending on your situation, depending on what transpired in this, it's what you can become depends on where you are on your spiritual journey. Like if this can come together, in what form can it come together? Can we just be friends? Would a relationship work? I would think that the universe, from what there's always mixed ideas or that goes around. What do we know for sure? Is it absolutely necessary for the two to be like in a romantic relationship? Can they just be friends and do the work and work together on the mission? Is that enough? I don't know. It would seem that the universe always tries to get them to get together in a romantic sense, though you'll hear differing opinions. But again, I feel it also just depends on your situation. You know, how bad is the karma? Are we talking about, you know, how bad is each person's lessons? How difficult would it be? You know, where you are as far as what you've transcended. It depends on what you can be in the moment. Maybe just friends is all you can be. But eventually, you know, I guess they want it to be more. But trying to see what works, even one day at a time kind of thing, you know, hoping for the best, but just taking things slow and seeing how it can come together. See if there's going to be equal give and take, you know, because that's what's going to make a relationship work, not with someone doing all the giving and someone taking it all. How does she feel? The Princess of Winter. Information that can help you, but which may be also difficult to hear. Speaking the truth with kindness, an indigo child or adult. Inquisitive, truthful, realistic, and undiplomatic. So she's feeling like, you know, she wants some communication, or she wants to communicate, or she wants some truth. She wants to hear the truth from him, or some truths, or some communication. And this was the one that's coming in reverse. This was in reverse. It's the Six of Autumn, I'm sorry, which is the Six of Cups. Children or childhood, the return of people or romances from your past, remembering events differently in a better or worse light than how they really occurred. Now, this being in the reverse, maybe she's feeling like, you know, she wants to hear some communication from him. She wants to hear some truth. And she's feeling like maybe she hasn't been they haven't been in contact. And she's feeling like that maybe this union can come together. Maybe, you know, there's no interest there. Maybe he's not even expressing anything, even though he may be thinking it and feeling it and wanting all these things. He hasn't really verbalized that to her. So she's just kind of, you know, waiting around, and she's having doubts, you know, that this can come together, or she's feeling like there might be a delay. And why is that? Let's see. We have the Death card. It's all about transformation, endings. The Knight of Wands. This could be a fire sign, or I think that this is more of the energy regarding the energy of it, the card, not a person. So the death to, you know, this behavior, this Knight of Wands, someone who comes in and out of your life, who's not, you know, reliable, who's kind of like the Casanova, the playboy, the player. So death to the Knight of Wands, or death and Knight of Wands and Queen of Cups. So perhaps the reason why there's a delay or why it's in reverse is perhaps he's involved with someone else, and their reunion is delayed because he needs to end that. And maybe he was a Casanova and that's how he ended up in his new romance. Maybe he, you know, tried to be the player, but he needs to end that in order for there to be a reconnection. Yes, the Tower. Something's ending, something transforming. Something's definitely being shaken up. The two people are flying out, so perhaps that he's ending the relationship that he's currently in. And maybe that's why, you know, there hasn't been any communication. Maybe that's because he's caught up in what's going on here. The Emperor. This is someone who's, look at his face, this guy. He's got the most like uninterested expression I've ever seen. And the kind of like whatever, you know, look. This is about, you know, gaining control over a situation. Justice is here. So maybe this is the universe. Oops, I'm sorry. gaining control over the situation that he was in and putting an end to it. You know, the tower will come in. The tower is the universe coming in and shaking things up. The universe taking control. Maybe he wasn't making any moves. He was sitting too much in his head and or afraid, you know, living in fear that there was no hope and no love. So he was just kind of staying in the situation he was in. But if you're destined to be with someone, you know, or if things aren't built on a strong foundation or a foundation based on, you know, the Knight of Wands energy, someone using their smooth talking to get into a relationship or something that isn't truthful, you know. So the universe is coming in and taking control over this situation and handing down some justice so that things can move forward. This is the Chariot. This is also the sign of Cancer. You know, balancing out things so that they can progress and move forward. Ending things that need to be ended, whether it's behaviors or relationships that aren't supposed to be, you know, situations that aren't supposed to be, so that the union can come together, which is the Ten of Pentacles. This is family, this is abundance, this is happiness, this is joy. So the reason why there's a delay is because the universe is taking care of some business in regards to the masculine and his situation. He's ending, the universe is ending that so that things can, they're taking control, putting out some justice so things can move forward so that you guys can come together and have the Ten of Pentacles, have abundance. But things looks like they're on delay. And it's just because they're working themselves out. Now, what is the feminine hope? Friend. And also, new beginning. So she's hoping, you know, because she's hoping for a new beginning. She's hoping to have her friend back. You know, because good relationships are built on strong friendships. That's what lasts. You know, the romance and all that stuff kind of fizzles out after a while, you know, and what keeps things going, keeps things stable is a strong foundation, which is usually based in friendship. So she's hoping for that. I'll clarify these. What she's fearing is the Fool. Maybe she's fearing making a wrong choice, leaping in back into a situation that maybe was painful or hurtful. So she's fearing. And the Lovers, this is, you know, relationship or union, twin flames, soulmates. They're having to make a decision, head or heart decisions. Maybe she's fearing, you know, making the wrong decision. She's fearing taking a leap of faith, making a wrong decision, and maybe, you know, getting hurt again. But let's clarify those and see. Friend. In regards to how the feminine hopes. Friend. Gran Concellación and Messengare. Messengare is a message from a distance, so maybe they're at a distance from each other. And again, because she was feeling like, you know, she wants to hear from him. She wants to hear some truth. She wants to hear some communication. This is expressed here again. You know, maybe it's been a long time. Maybe she's been waiting around for this communication to know, well, what's going on. You know, this is what she's hoping for. She's hoping to finally get some communication after so long. And the Lovers. Muerte, death, transformation, transcending. Letterato, man of letters, communication. L'amica, the confidant, friend. So in her fears, as far as the lovers goes, maybe she's fearing, that things won't change, or that maybe things won't end with his current situation, or maybe that she won't hear from him, Letterado. Um, let's see how should how should the masculine and the feminine both view the union? What does the universe say? Very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So then things are kind of at a stalemate, because maybe some things are ending before things can begin, and there's some worry on this side. Is anything going to move forward? Am I even going to hear from them? Am I going to be able to come together? Can there be a new beginning? Or am I going to make the right choice? Or maybe I won't have. She's fearing not coming together. Not that she has, making the wrong choice, or them not coming together, or them not having a new beginning and taking a leap of faith because she's not going to hear from him, or that, things won't change, or he won't end that situation with her. But they're saying, and he's fearing, that he won't be viewed as someone who's changed, or he won't be given a new opportunity. He fears there's no hope or love. So they're both kind of, because there's no communication, nobody knows what anybody's really thinking or feeling. Everybody's kind of just assuming and waiting, and just keeping all their feelings and thoughts to themselves. And the universe is saying, decide so that things can come together. Both of you need to communicate and figure out, well, what do you want? Because now is the time, especially if this situation is ending. There needs to be some kind of communication here as far as, is this situation going to progress? Is this situation going to move forward? And the universe, how they want you to feel about it, they want you to keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So there's probably some doubts on both sides, as far as, can it work? Can we get together? Or even, are they my twin flame, or whatever it is, because maybe there's a lot of pain that's transpired. And that's where you can kind of get into the whole, are they, aren't they? Because you romanticize the idea of what a twin flame is. You have it in your mind as this end-all be-all relationship that's like perfection, because this person is your other half. But the fact of the matter is that it's not. This person is your other half, and they're also a mirror, and they hold up the mirror, and they bring out all the things within you that need to be healed. And oftentimes that is a very painful or difficult process. And there's usually a lot of conflict between the two. That's why they can never truly come into union until those things are healed. Or else there's always going to be the runner and the chaser situation going on. And so you can think that if there's, it's like a roller coaster. There's a lot of ups and downs, and it's just like, it seems crazy. And you even wonder, like, is this going to come together, or are they, or aren't they? They want you to say, well, yes, and that your soulmate may differ from what you usually think, and to keep an open mind in regards to the situation. And what is the possible outcome? Ace of Winter. This is like the Ace of Swords. This is clarity, communication, truth. Don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately amazing new ideas that should be implemented. And this one that was in reverse is the Eight of Autumn. And this is, do more research before proceeding, education in the form of seminars, going back to school or apprenticeships, excellent craftsmanship, and long-term projects. Now in the reverse, Eight of Pentacles is usually the guy sitting there putting in a lot of hard work. So in reverse, it's nobody's putting in the work. So the outcome, is there needs to be some communication. There needs to be some truth expressed. This is what the universe wants to see happen. And they want to see this turn around, so that effort is put in, because they want you to come together. Three of Pentacles, Two of Cups, Three of Wands, and the Fool. So they want this turned around. They want effort to be put in so that you can come together with your soulmate, with your twin flame. And you're waiting for your ships to come in and to take a leap of faith. You know, don't wait around too much. Communicate with each other. Let each other know how you're feeling, so there won't be doubts or worries or fears. And keep an open mind, because now is the time. This is very soon. Obviously, if this situation is wrapping up, this is a pivotal moment of things coming together or not. That all depends, like I said, on the two of you and where you are on your journey. What is the advice that the universe has for the masculine? Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. And free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So the free yourself is that's what the universe is forcing down with the Tower. It's ending that situation so that you can free yourself, so that the two of you can come into union, so that you can work on your divine career, or you needing to get your finances in order so that you can move forward. You know, you need to take back control of your life. Get yourself going. You know, maybe the masculine's been stagnant and he hasn't been moving forward and just kind of stuck in a rut. And they want you to, like, get it going. Get moving. You're here for a reason. You're here to do a job. You're here to learn and grow and evolve. And they want you to free yourself from anything that might be holding you back from pursuing that, from pursuing your career or your divine path. And what is the advice for the feminine? 3 cards came out. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Here's another one with his face. It's kind of like the Emperor. He's like just so like not interested at all. And this person's like crying and like begging for forgiveness, and he's just like, oh, I ain't even got to deal with this, you know. But they want you to deal with it. They want you to forgive. They want you to see him as this new person who's changed, you know. And that's not always easy. That's not always easy. But it's also part of your growth. You know, it's all about lessons. And they also recommend playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. I always crack up because that's my name. And honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. This reminds me like the 6 of Swords, moving on to calmer waters. You know, the two of you off in a boat, moving forward, recapturing romance, you know, forgiving and learning. That's the recommendation. Now, I pulled other cards, oracle cards here. I pulled one for the masculine as far as what would he like the feminine to know. We have stranded. Maybe he's feeling stranded, abandoned, or maybe he's stuck if they're at a distance. Maybe he feels, you know, in regards to what he's going through. You know, any kind of separation is difficult. You know, and so he's maybe feeling that, the impact of that, and he's kind of just feeling stranded. And what would she like him to know? a certain slant of light. Maybe she's trying to tell him to have hope. Let's read and see what the cards mean. 38. Stranded. For the solitary seafarer, the time has come to weep, longing empty yearnings for her dreams dreamt dark and deep. Forlornly laminating, she aches to close the gap she keeps, remembering a loved one as she's drifting off to sleep. Slipping into nothing, an oaken, gnarled embrace, listlessly awaiting the sun's illustrious face. Alone on an island's swiftly shrinking space, she is stranded, alone, afraid, and in disgrace. Oof. Alone and stuck in a gnarled tree on a deserted island, a melancholy mermaid stares into the distance, oblivious to the sunset rising behind her. She is pale and lost in a reverie. She is isolated and lonely, but why? Divination message. Stop isolating yourself. You may feel deserted, but it is a self-imposed isolation. What you see as rejection is all in your mind. Others are not avoiding you. You are avoiding them, preemptively preventing them from rejecting you. It is not healthy to avoid relationships and interactions for fear of losing a loved one or of becoming embarrassed. It is time to step off the island you have created for yourself and join the rest of society. Make contact with a friend you have been avoiding. Go back to the classes and meetings you bowed out of and wisely invest in new modes of communication so you can talk once again with the world. The world is waiting for you. It is up to you to take the first step. So, this is what he wants her to know. Now, if I put it to how he wants her to think about herself, maybe the feminine has been kind of isolating herself. Maybe, when they separated, she kind of became a hermit. I know I did. That's so crazy when I do the readings, when I can relate. Isn't it wonderful? I love the tarot. But he's saying to her, it's time to end that. Because oftentimes we lose our faith and our hope and our trust in people because one person or a few people hurt us. And so we then apply a blanket over the masses and assume that it's all just more of the same. We isolate ourselves because we don't want to be hurt again. So we don't hang out with people, we don't go out, we don't do anything. And he says, he wants her to not feel that way. That life goes on, with or without your twin. You're still supposed to be working on you, being happy with yourself, have other healthy relationships, work on your career, better yourself, your health, all of that. Like, don't completely shut down because of a couple of bad experiences. And that's what his advice is to her, what he would like her to know. What would she like him to know? 28 and 38. It's kind of neat. From the darkness. Why did I show you that card again? Aren't they pretty? They're so pretty. From the darkness there emerges illumination deemed divine, feckless, searching terminated by insight most sublime. From despair and confusion erupts another form of sight, lucidity all resulting from a certain slant of light. A pensive mermaid lies in her grassy pond, waiting for an answer to come to her. A grand light shines from above, illuminating her and her surroundings in a moment of divine insight and understanding. That reminds me of like the hangman. He's seeing things from a different perspective. Divination meaning, illumination is coming. Darkness and confusion are commonplace in this world, but do not worry. Illumination is coming in the form of a new way of viewing your environment or situation. Some call it divine insight and others enlightenment. Either way, be prepared for a new perspective. A sudden shift in thinking will arise from the uncovering of unknown facts, opinions, or desires. These new points will help you understand where you are now and help you to answer some of the questions that have been gnawing at you for some time. Be prepared, though. The illumination may be subtle and easy to miss. Keep your eyes open and your spirit curious so that you do not miss out on the illumination you have been so long waiting for. So I found that interesting. It's the same as the hangman. You know, he's obviously seeing things differently. He's already kind of coming into his awakening, and she just kind of wants to reaffirm that with him to keep doing that. You know, keep looking within yourself, keep evolving, keep growing, keep changing. You know, become this new person. And hopefully, we always hope, hopefully things will work out. You know, when we learn from our mistakes, when we learn lessons, we do evolve, we do change. And we see things differently. We see ourselves differently, we see the situation differently, we see other people differently. And sometimes they say pain is our greatest teacher. And he's obviously going through something here where he's learning that. You know, he's ending the situation with whoever he's with because he's realizing, he's seeing that what he had in the feminine. You know, he had the sun. You know, he's trying to use his intuition in regards to this and to fight for what he wants, which is to be with her, because that's what he's hoping for. And his advice is to continue on that path. Continue to have these revelations. But the other thing is communicate. Because leaving people in limbo and people not knowing what's going on, it could lead to putting out an energy that is counterproductive for the union. If someone's sitting in fear and worry and doubts and all that's being put out there. So that causes blocks. That's why both of them have to try to be positive, think good thoughts in regards to the union or things working out. Don't already put out a project the past onto the future, basically. And if you do that, the impossible will be made possible. This is the Rumi Oracle. This is the guidance from the universe and what the universe would like them both to know. So let's read that. Oh my gosh, I'm doing so good with time. The more I do it, the better I get. I won't have 2-hour videos. Number 9. The impossible made possible. Love brings the sea into boiling and turns the mountain into a pebble. Love creates infinite openings in the dark sky and shudders the earth with its magnitude. That's from Rumi. She spins, this great earth goddess, upon invisible strings amongst a widely pulsating ballet of life. Stars are born, live, and die all around her. Life moves in constant flux, and still she spins in her great, loving, constant pirouette. How can this be? All of creation is born from nothing. Out of an endless silence and darkness, light emerges. What strange music is this? The sun heats the solar system and burns with the power to destroy life, yet it is a force by which life is sustained. Surely this makes no sense, and cannot be. We dance in the realm of impossible made possible constantly, you and I. We are so engrossed in it, so familiar with it, and yet blind to it, that these constant impossibilities happening in every moment fail to inspire us. Yet what are your biggest, boldest, most extraordinarily impossible dreams compared to this great impossibility of life itself? They are but tiny seeds in the Creator's masterful hand being now planted in the heavenly garden. Yes, they are being planted right now, for the moon tells us the time is right. Most tenderly shall they be watched over, nurtured into fullness according to the season. Yes, that growth is assured. The impossible is now made possible. We only limit what we believe to the possible by our lack of imagination. The divine has recourse to all that is and all that is yet to be. Is there any limit to the resources of the heavens? No. So then, why has not every impossible dream now been rendered possible, indeed manifest in shining glory upon the earth? The human heart knows everything in vision can manifest according to divine timing and grace. Yet the mind does quake with fear, so much so that it will not listen to the heart at times. That fear is a childlike nightmare that should you offer yourself up to the sacred loving power of the great Creator, you might be found to be lacking. The mind holds itself captive with darkest fantasies of that profound rejection, and then avoids confronting it directly at all costs. It creates barriers instead, truly nothing more than lines in the sand, yet believed to be forts. Well, what strongholds can resist love? Is it like water? It seeps into every available space and changes form to survive in every environmental condition. With unfailing intelligence, it creates life. From steam to ice, rainfall, the river and ocean, rain descending into snowflakes, snow capping the peak, expressing itself with beauty and genius. It nestles under the earth and rises to the sky, only to return to the earth again. It will erode blockages and prevail, no matter how long that process takes. It carves the earth into shape and form. Where it is, there is life. Such is the adaptable intelligence and persistence of water, just as is the power of love. So now you are guided by this loving power to drop the doubt, shed the incredulity, and open up the mind. Allow your imagination to be inspired as though you are a child in a great garden, hearing the breath of the earth and the wind-whipped leaves and the voices of the ancestors in birdsong. The universe wants something to happen for you, something beautiful, something utterly improbable, and something perfect for your path, your unique divine destiny. Your mind will wonder if it is even possible. People around you may wonder the same thing, but your heart will burn for it to become real, to become more than a fantastic, improbable dream. You'll want it with all of your soul. You may not even be consciously aware as yet what this great desire is, but your heart knows. It holds a secret knowledge and will unveil it when your mind can handle it. When your heart is much more powerful than your mind, you won't unintentionally block the incredible grace of manifestation seeking to pour into your thirsty soul, like the sweetest, purest waters of blessing. There's a sacred honoring ritual here. Place your hands very lightly at your throat. Say aloud, with Rumi who loves me unconditionally, as my witness, I now offer myself into the hands of the all-loving creative intelligence of this universe. I release all vows, intentions, or beliefs ever made, consciously or unconsciously, in this or any lifetime, that are based in doubt and fear, holding back from creative fruition of my soul upon the earth. I dedicate myself to love and accept the gift of grace that brings me into greater fulfillment now. May I be blessed so I can surrender resistance and accept what is coming to me now for what it is, a gift of love. So be it. So the universe is saying, like I said, to not put the energy out there of, fear, worry, doubt, making it impossible for the two of you to come together because you're holding on to past hurts, past pains, to keep progressing forward, keep growing in your spirituality, keep coming into these revelations, communicate with one another. You're on the right path. Focus on the things that you need to focus on, which is always the betterment of ourselves. What we came here to do. Because two broken halves don't make a whole, as I've said before. It takes two self-sufficient, independent, healthy, both in mind and in emotion, people to truly be able to come together and make a relationship work. And everything is a learning curve. Everything is for our growth. And we're to take all of these lessons that we're learning, the painful ones, the difficult ones, the ones that make us question our own beliefs, our own thoughts, our own behaviors, so that we can evolve, or we can become better, so that we can be a better partner for whoever they're with, or better friend, or better family member, whatever. But the universe is saying, keep all that positive momentum going, those positive thoughts, and the impossible can be made possible, especially when it comes to a divine union. It's destiny. So I want to thank you for joining me for September's Twin Flame Monthly Reading, and I will be back with more videos. Take care. Blessings. Bye.